Hey guys, so let's talk about casual looks for theatrical romantics. So if you are still confused about your kibby body type, I do offer style consults through my website and I will leave a link down below for those. So in this video, I wanted to give you guys some very casual looks that you could wear to run some errands to slightly less casual looks that you could wear maybe on a lunch date on a Saturday or something like that. So I hope you'll enjoy it. So here we have Rachel Mcadams, and she is a theatrical romantic. Theatrical romantics look best with intricate detailing, waist emphasis, some fittedness, and some glamorous hair with rounded edges. A theatrical romantic doesn't have to wear frills and sparkles and over-the-top items to look amazing. And if you guys are interested in more information on romantics in general, then you can definitely watch my video on casual looks for romantics, where I talk about all kinds of different ways to achieve some yin in your look without going for overly frilly items. So I will leave a link down below to that as well. But let's take a look at Rachel Mcadams in varying degrees of casual dress. So on the left we have something very casual where she is wearing just a simple t-shirt and some jeans and a messy bun, and I think this look works for her for an extremely casual setting. And in the middle we have the light blue shirt, and she also has some waist emphasis there and some more glamorous hair as well, and her jeans also go in at the ankle, so that's really important for theatrical romantics to have fittedness at the ankle, fittedness at the cuffs, and I think she looks great there too. And on the right, a bit less casual still, she looks really good. So she has a lightweight t-shirt that's tucked in for some waist emphasis, and the skirt also tapers in at the hem, so that looks really good on her, and some glamorous hair there as well. Slightly glamorous, slightly more volume in the hair, that looks really great. But you can see that when she wears her hair a little bit more in a flamboyant natural or natural style, like on the left, that looks a little bit not put together on her, and that shirt is a little bit too loose on her and unconstructed, and that look is not really doing too much for her. And you can see, and I really want to talk about this, and I talked about this in my romantic video as well, that the hair is really important for romantics and theatrical romantics. And you can see in the middle and on the right, I think that the hair really carries the entire look. So in the middle, she's wearing some dramatic elements there, and she still, I think, overall looks pretty good because her hair is theatrical romantic, so the hair can really carry the whole look. And on the right, it's the same kind of situation. She has some elements of, she does have some elements of romantic there with the fittedness of the leggings, I guess, but this is not primarily a romantic look. Maybe some elements of natural, maybe some elements of gamine with the color blocking, but she still looks pretty good there with her hair done in that way, a bit more glamorous with some rounded edges, so the hair really matters. And here we have Salma Hayek with the same kind of story. So it's hard to find images of Salma wearing extremely casual looks that work for theatrical romantics, but on the left there, you can see that her hair is pretty glamorous, and I think she looks pretty good there. I would really love it if her look had tapering at the ankle there on the left, and that would look absolutely perfect on her. In the middle, she has some elements of theatrical romantic, like with sharpness at the shoulders and some waist emphasis, but you can see that her jeans are not tapered in at the ankle, and that looks a tiny bit separate from her, but the hair can sort of pull the look together a little bit. And you can see on the right where she really has a lot of elements of theatrical romantic in her look. She has waist emphasis, she has fittedness, and she also has fittedness at the ankles. And overall, though, I think that the hair kind of drags her down, and I wish that on the right she had the glamorous hair, and I think that that would really bring the look together. But here I think that the hair was really important for this look, and it would look much better if her hair was a bit more glamorous there on the right. And to take a look at more images of Salma, I think on the left, that look on her, the outfit itself is pretty good, I think. I like the waist emphasis, even though the pattern might be a little bit too crisp for a theatrical romantic. I think overall The outfit is great, but you can see that her hair is just not voluminous enough there, and that look would be so much better if her hair was glamorous. You can see on the right, even though there are less theatrical romantic elements there, I think that looks a little bit better on the right than on the left, and it's all because of the hair. So again, hair is super, super important in my opinion. So let's take a look at some hairstyles for theatrical romantics. So these three ladies are all theatrical romantics, and I think they all look pretty good here. So you can see on the left we have a pretty simple look on Mila, and I think she looks good because the bangs of her hair bring in some rounded edges. She also has some softness around her face, so I think that hairstyle, pretty simple, pretty casual, you could do, and that would look great. In the middle we have Rihanna, and she looks really great with that messy bun and some softness around her face as well. And on the right, of course, we have Rachel Mcadams, and she has some rounded edges in her hair, obviously with curls, but also with the half up, half down look, and the bangs also create some more rounded edges as well, and I think she looks great. If you have straight hair and you don't want to curl it, then you could create some rounded edges in your hair with some side bangs or a half up, half down do like on the right. And this lady is from the Small Things blog, and she's actually a YouTuber too. I really like her hairstyle tutorials, and you can see that she has straight hair there, and you can still create some rounded edges and some volume with straight hair, but it's important that it still looks polished and put together for a theatrical romantic. So romantic hair and theatrical romantic hair are pretty similar. They're basically the same, but I was thinking maybe there is a small difference. So Kibbe does mention that romantics look amazing with some really soft, wispy pieces around their face, framing their face, like you can see on the left there with Beyonce. And on the right, we have Rihanna, theatrical romantic, and Beyonce on the left is romantic. And I think that, and you guys tell me in the comments what you think, I think that look with the very wispy pieces all around the face looks slightly better on Beyonce than it does on Rihanna. And you can see that when the effect is switched, when there are just some wispy pieces but not too many, I think that looks better on Rihanna than it does on Beyonce, just slightly better. This might be just a tiny small detail that doesn't really matter that much in the big picture, but I thought it was a little bit interesting, and I think that overly wispy look like we saw in the previous example on Rihanna might be a little bit too much, because she does have some yang bone structure as any theatrical romantic would. So let's get back to the casual looks, very casual looks in terms of outfits for theatrical romantics, now that we've discussed hair pretty much at length. So for t-shirts, I would say that the reason that the t-shirt on the left doesn't look so separate from Rachel, even though it's so simple, is because it has a lot of rounded edges. So you can see that black t-shirt in the middle is the same type of style. The sleeves are a bit smaller and they are rounded. The neckline is a bit rounded, and it has some waist emphasis as well, and it's not a thick fabric. It's a pretty thin, lightweight fabric, so that would look good on a very, very casual day for a theatrical romantic. And you would want to avoid, just for reference, that kind of t-shirt on the far right where it's a thick fabric and the sleeves are bulky and large. It has no waist emphasis and it has some sharp angles, and that would not look flattering at all and would look a little bit separate on any romantic and a theatrical romantic as well. So you could wear a t-shirt that's a bit softer like these two on the left, and you could just pair that with some jeans or some leggings, and those leggings also have some little folds in them, some gathers to add some yin. So it doesn't always have to be frills, it can be some gathers, it can be some waist emphasis. There are a lot of ways to add yin to an outfit without looking overly frilly. You could also wear a bit of a longer top like the gray one here, and you could pair that with some jeans, some skinny leg jeans, or you could wear a shirt like the green one on the far left, and that has some small gathers and that will add some yin. And you could pair that with some pants that are a little bit looser but then taper in at the ankle like the ones on the right. But you can see, if you watch the romantic video, I have some pretty similar pants in that one, and you could also easily wear just the romantic pants too, but these pants have some sharpness around the ankle area, so that's why I chose them. So they are loose and they are a lightweight fabric. They go in at the ankle and they have some sharpness at the ankle to bring in that yang undercurrent. If you want to dress it up a little bit, you could wear something like this where the shirt has some ruffles or it has some waist emphasis like that in the middle there, and you could just wear that with some skinny leg jeans and that would look great as well. If you want to dress it up even more, you could wear something with some very, very lightweight fabrics like the shirt in the middle, or you could also wear something with some lace like on the left, and that would look really great. And you can see that the shirt in the middle at first does not look like the stereotypical theatrical romantic shirt, but it has the lightweight fabrics, it has small gathers, it has a waist emphasis, so overall it would look amazing on a theatrical romantic. You could pair that with some jeans or some pants as you see fit. Some other options are Peplum Tops. So if you watched my romantic video, you know Peplum Tops. If you like them, then they are going to be your best friend because they can create that waist emphasis. They usually have some small ruffles. Just make sure that it's not overly stiff on you. And the difference between these Peplum Tops and the romantic ones is that these have some more sharpness. So the one on the left has some sharpness at the shoulders and the one on the right has some more sharpness around the waistline, so that is going to bring in that yang undercurrent of the theatrical romantic. You could say, well, I could easily see a soft gamine wearing these Peplum Tops, and you would be absolutely right. I think a soft gamine would look pretty good in these Peplum Tops, but I think that they would look very, very glamorous on a soft gamine, and they would look a lot more casual on a theatrical romantic, although they can share some lines, and especially because casual looks are quite simple, so the soft gamine does not look good in overly glamorous detail, but since we're taking the glamour down a notch, some of these looks can be shared with a soft gamine, but these would look amazing and casual on a theatrical romantic. If you want to experiment with another element of the theatrical romantic look, you can go for some slightly oversized, just slightly. You don't want something extremely oversized. And you can make sure that it's fitted at the cuffs. So I think that shirt on the left would be a little bit better if it was fitted at the cuffs, but I still thought I would give this example because of the sharp waist emphasis. And so with that sort of slightly oversized look, you can go for some sharp waist emphasis like the shirt in the middle and the shirt on the right. And you could pair that with some pants that tailor in at the ankle. So let's take a look at 3 looks and try to see which one would be best for a theatrical romantic. So leave a comment down below, let me know which one you think would be best, and I'll let you know what I think now. So I think that the one on the far left would actually be best for a theatrical romantic. Before we talk about that, let's talk about the other 2 looks. So in the middle we have some seemingly sharp waist emphasis, but it doesn't really look like sharp waist emphasis because that shirt is too draped. And we also have some large rounded edges of that shirt, and those larger rounded edges might be too large for the small bones of a theatrical romantic. And it's also a little bit too unconstructed. If you asked me, I would say that that shirt in the middle would probably look best on a soft dramatic, maybe a soft natural, but probably a soft dramatic because of those rounded edges that are pretty defined and create some large rounded shapes there at the bottom, at the hemline and at the cuffs. And of course, it's also not fitted at the cuffs, so that would not really look good on any romantic. And now the shirt on the right, I would say that's primarily soft gamine, and that fabric is just not soft enough, not flowy enough for a romantic of any kind, and the ruffles are too crisp on the shoulders, and I would say that's primarily a soft gamine shirt, and theatrical romantic, it might look a little bit stiff on her. So now let's talk about the look on the left. So on the left, we have kind of a lightweight fabric that's draped. We have some fittedness at the cuff area, and that lightweight fabric, because it's draped, it also creates some small gathers, some small folds around the cuff area. We have some sharp waist emphasis, of course, with the belt, and I think it looks amazing, and it's that same element of looking slightly oversized, but still has definition and still has the sharp waist emphasis, still has the fittedness at the cuffs. and I think that would look great. Of course, it would look a little bit better if it had some more detailing, like maybe some ruffles, maybe some lace, maybe not ruffles, maybe just some lace detailing or something like that. Somehow that would look better, but I think this on the left would actually look really nice on a theatrical romantic, and it doesn't have to be overly frilly or overly intricate or ornate or overly glamorous all the time. You could incorporate yin elements in a way that's a little bit more creative so that you can look more casual or experiment with different styles. But I think that belt on the left really brings the look together, which brings me to the next idea, which is belts that go in at the smallest point of your waist. So if you like belts, then this is going to be really great for you, and it's going to make everything a lot easier because waist emphasis is obviously very easily achieved with just a belt at the waist. So you could do some belts like this, and you also want to focus on having not too much contrast between your top and bottom or between your belt and your item that you're wearing, because that is more for gamines and you don't want to break up your lines too much. But some use of color is good, but you just don't want it to be too extreme, but at the same time you don't want it to be too monochromatic either. So soft colors look really elegant on a theatrical romantic, and vivid colors are good too, so you could substitute vivid colors for these items and that would still look amazing. So you could wear something like these tops with a bit of a thicker belt. A thicker belt is better than a very thin belt. And you could say on the left, well, this is a soft natural shirt, and I would say maybe it could soft natural could wear it without the belt because it has some softer waist emphasis, but you can see that the neckline is not very open, and if you add the belt then that would be primarily theatrical romantic, but it does have some loose tailoring at the cuffs, so maybe it would be better for a theatrical romantic if those cuffs were a bit more tailored on the left there, but still I think it would look amazing. If you want to dress it up even more, you could go for any looks like these three, but I would say for the one in the middle, again, you would want a bit of a sharper line at the waist, not that kind of loose line, and on the right, maybe a slightly thicker belt, but overall, these looks are some pretty good inspiration for a theatrical romantic, and of course, you could change up the colors to more vivid colors, or you could keep the colors soft for a more elegant look, and that look on the left is amazing because it has the soft plush sweater that fits at the cuffs, but it also has a sharp waist emphasis. Of course, it has the sharp contrast between top and bottom, but I think still overall the look would be great on a theatrical romantic. In the middle, we have some ruffles, some yin detailing, and that would look better with a thick belt. And on the right, we also have some soft fabrics and some yin detailing on the shirt with the ruffles, and it's not too monochromatic, but at the same time, it's also not a very stark contrast between the top and the bottom, so that would look amazing, especially with a thicker belt. And you could switch out for any of these looks. You could wear them, you can imagine, with some pants, and that would look a lot more casual than wearing them with a pencil skirt or something like that, so you could do that. Some people may ask me, is waist emphasis really important for a theatrical romantic? Is it critical? I don't want to emphasize my waist for whatever reason. And I would say that if you have enough elements of theatrical romantic, then you can exclude waist emphasis if you want, just like you can exclude other elements of theatrical romantic if you have waist emphasis. So you can think about the things that you want to keep and the things that you don't want to keep, and sort of compensate in other elements of your look with some elements of theatrical romantic. Like even on the left, you can see that there are no ruffles there, but that look is still primarily theatrical romantic because of the fittedness, the soft fabric, the waist emphasis. So you could do the same type of thing, and you can incorporate some elements that you like, and those may be enough to carry your look, especially with glamorous hair as well. But some may say, well, Miriam, it's not that I don't like waist emphasis, it's that I don't have a small waist, so I don't want to emphasize my waist because it's not small. Well, I want to give you guys an example of Mila Kunis. She is, of course, a theatrical romantic, and you can see that her waistline is an answer B waistline. It's pretty wide and it's a little bit elongated, and she doesn't necessarily have a very hourglass figure to her with that small waist. But I think that she still looks better with waist emphasis because it's all about the body type. It's not about the the waist specifically. And the body type looks amazing with waist emphasis, even if the waist is not small. And I hope you can see what I see. I think she looks much better with waist emphasis in the dresses in the middle and on the right than she does on the left without waist emphasis. I think she still looks pretty good on the left because she has the glamorous hair, but I think maybe that fabric of the dress is a little too stiff. And again, if you like waist emphasis, but you're maybe concerned that your waist is not small enough to do that kind of thing, then don't even worry about it. If you are a romantic, if you're a theatrical romantic, you would still look amazing with waist emphasis. And likewise, if you are a flamboyant natural or a dramatic with a small waist, because remember, the waist is just one question on the Kibbe body types test. The body type is made up of all kinds of lines all together. And if you have a small waist, but you're somehow a flamboyant natural or you're a dramatic, then the opposite applies. So a flamboyant natural with a small waist may not be flattered by waist emphasis even though their waist is small. So that's something to think about for you guys. If you like waist emphasis and you want to go for it, then definitely go for it. It's going to look amazing on you. So that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and also let me know in the comments what is your body type and what looks do you find to be the most challenging to achieve within your own lines. So that's it. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you next time.